Have you ever stopped to think about what happened to Roman soldiers after winning a battle? We tend to imagine it was all celebrations and glory, but the reality was much more complex and fascinating. Let me share 3 things that happened to these warriors after a victory, revealing how their lives were full of twists and turns. But before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. There's new content every day. 1. The moment of glory, the triumphus. When the Roman army won an important battle, especially one involving great conquests or the defeat of a powerful enemy, the general in charge could receive one of the greatest honors of the Roman Republic or Empire, the triumphus. But not every victory qualified for this recognition. Strict criteria had to be met, such as expanding Roman territory or saving the city from a significant threat. The triumphus was a spectacular ceremony. Imagine a grand parade through the streets of Rome, with the general dressed as the god Jupiter, wearing a purple and gold tunic. He rode in a luxurious chariot, while the crowd cheered and applauded. Behind him marched the victorious soldiers, showcasing the spoils of war: gold, silver, weapons, valuable artifacts, and, of course, prisoners of war. For the soldiers, it was an indescribably proud moment, as they participated in an event that displayed the might of the Roman army to its people. However, there was an interesting detail. During the triumphus, a slave stood behind the general in the chariot, whispering in his ear, "Memento mori," remember that you are mortal. This wasn't random. It served as a reminder to the general and everyone present that, despite the glory, all human beings share the same fate. For the soldiers, this reminder was equally significant, as they knew that even in victory, war was cruel and full of uncertainties. 2. Dividing the spoils, a prize or a disappointment. After winning a battle, soldiers were entitled to a share of the spoils, which were distributed strategically and proportionally. These spoils could include coins, jewelry, weapons, food, livestock, and even slaves. For many soldiers, especially those from lower classes, this was a life-changing opportunity. A good share could allow them to buy land, start a business, or simply secure a more comfortable retirement. However, the division wasn't always fair. Commanders, officers, and the general himself took the largest portions, which sometimes caused resentment among the troops. Common soldiers, known as legionaries, received the smallest share, and this practice could create tension within the army, particularly after long and exhausting campaigns. Even so, the spoils were one of the soldiers' greatest motivations. Participating in victorious campaigns meant not just surviving but also the chance to become wealthy. At times, the emperor or general used the spoils to reward the troops with a donativum, an extra payment meant to encourage loyalty and boost morale. 3. Life after battle. Celebrations, wounds, and trauma. After a victory, there were indeed moments of celebration. Soldiers gathered for feasts, with banquets and drinks to help release the tension accumulated during days or months of battle. It was a time for camaraderie, to honor fallen comrades, and to celebrate survival. However, not everything was as joyful as it seemed. Roman battles were incredibly brutal, and soldiers often bore physical and emotional scars. Many returned wounded, with amputated limbs or scars that served as constant reminders of what they had endured. Moreover, psychological trauma was a reality. The horrors of war, watching friends die, mutilations, the chaos of the battlefield, left lasting impressions on their minds. For veterans, returning home could be a challenge. Some managed to reintegrate into civilian life, especially if they had resources from the spoils. Others, however, felt out of place, as their training and wartime experiences made them feel disconnected from everyday life. Interestingly, Roman culture showed some recognition for these men, especially older veterans, but this was not always enough to heal their internal wounds.